everyone, it's Karen here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. This is what I'm going to be making today. It's a mini treat bag, and inside it's got a card which opens up and it holds a gift card. And I'm using some of the lovely new things that are in the brand new Stampin' Up catalogue. Look at that gorgeous copper embossing. So stick with me and I will show you how I made it. I've used the mini treat bag thinlets to cut out my pieces out of my Affectionately Yours designer series paper, and this is a specialty paper because two of the sheets have foil on them, but this is one of the double-sided sheets, and these colours, so they tell me, are Night of Navy and Crumb Cake. So these are the colours that we're going to be working with today. So I'm just making up the treat bag, but I'm not going to bring the lower tab up just yet, because I find it works better once I have what I'm going to put in my treat bag actually in my treat bag. And I've matched up those three sort of teeth, is where the overlap is, so it's not completely flat. There's room for you to put something in the bag, so I'm just going to put that on one side for now, so that's ready for later on. Now I want to make a rosette to go onto the front of my my treat bag. Let me put that out of the way just for a second so that I can bring in my scoreboard, and I'm going to use it upside down because I found that that is the easiest way to work with this particular kind of rosette, because what I've got is a piece of crumb cake from the Neutrals stack, and it is 1.5 inches deep, and I've just got the full length of the piece. And I'm going to start on this side up, and I'm going to score it every inch. And let me bring this in so that you can see it, see exactly what I'm doing, because I'm kind of off the edge of the screen here. Yeah, that's better. So I'm putting my tool, my embossing tool, use the thin side, in the groove that is at the 1. And that's the nice thing about this embossing board, because this scoring board, it's because you've got those guides for your embossing tool to go along. So just putting it into the in at the mark that I wanted, and I'm just scoring along. And I find it easier because I don't know why, I just do find it easier to, when I'm working with a narrow strip, I find it easier to kind of move away from myself. Maybe you're different. If so, you know, enjoy, do it whatever works for you. Now I've turned it over, and I'm now going to be scoring at the 1/4 of an inch to the right of the score that I just made. So where I've got a score at 1 inch, I'm going to score at 3/4 of an inch. Where I've got a score at 2 inches, it's going to be at 1 3/4 of an inch, and so on. And at 2 3/4 of an inch, 3 3/4 of an inch. So I'm making a pleat rather than a zigzag fold. So that is what I am going to be doing. So, and my very last one. Now this, there we go. So I can now move that carefully out of the way. Okay, so now I've got mounted folds on this side, and the reason why I turned the paper over, rather than just doing all my folds on one side is because paper likes to fold. When you've put a score line in, it likes to fold away from it. And if you ask it to do, this paper is actually pretty good and you'd probably be fine with it. But when, certainly card, if you ask it to do something that it doesn't want to do, you know, to fold in the opposite direction to the way that it wants to fold, it can crack. And that is why you get, sometimes you get a less than perfect result. And we don't want that. Okay. So I've just gone and pleated all of those together. Oops, after that. Now you see that one, I didn't practice what I preached. And can you see that that one's kind of folded it the wrong way by mistake, and it's not as crisp. It's a little bit raggedy. So we are now all pleated. So I'm going to form this into a rosette shape, and I've got a 1-inch circle punch here, and I want a bit of spare card. So I've got a piece of crumb cake here, and it could actually be any colour, any piece of card, because this is going to go onto the back of the rosette. And I fired it across the floor. Let's get hold of it. There you go. And nobody is going to see it. So let's get busy with the adhesive. So I've got some snail, and I've also got some Tombow. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join the ends together. And I'm going to put some snail onto the end of this one and just join them up. And I don't think I cut that terribly straight, but you know what, never be noticed on a galloping horse. Right, I've done some manipulating and I've folded all of my pieces down, and I'm going to put a bit more glue onto this piece because this isn't going to show, and that is going to sit on top of it, and I am going to leave that to set. Okay, I want to do some stamping for my rosette now, and I'm using this one, which is called Perfectly Wrapped, brand new to this year's catalogue, and it's a photopolymer set, and I'm going to be using the frame. Now it's an open centre and I don't want it to distort, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it onto my silicone mat and I'm going to pick it up with my block, and that means that it keeps a nice round shape. And I'm going to use a little gift, because that is what I am going to be giving, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time lining this up so that it fits nice and centrally in my frame. So I'm going to line up the word gift so that it touches the edge of the frame, and now I'm going to just play with this a little bit so that it all lines up and is reasonably centered. And I'm probably going to do a little bit of fast forwarding while I fiddle around with this, guys, so see you in a minute. There you go. I think I'm reasonably happy with that, and that's the great thing about photopolymer, because you can see exactly what you're doing. Right, so now I have some Night of Navy card and Versamark ink, my embossing buddy. Ink that up. with lots of light tapping. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to allow the ink to transfer well. And it has, it's done it beautifully. And I have my, where's my spoon? I have my copper, brand new this season, my copper embossing ink here, embossing powder. I can't find the little spoon that I normally use, so I'm just going to go straight over the top, and I've decanted it into my little pot here, because it is much easier to get the powder back in to a pot with a larger opening, right? Okay, so I've got my heat tool and I'm going to heat this up. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And I can see that I've caught a little bit here and there, but you know what? I'm not going to let it bother me. Okay, 2-inch circle punch. And there we go. So let's come back with our rosette that we made, and ahead of time I've done some die cutting with the banners, which have now disappeared on me. There we are, here it is, in Night of Navy, and I'm just going to layer all of that up together. So, nice bit of snail on the back of this. And actually, I said I cut this out with the banners framelets. I think what I actually did was use the banner punch. So I think what I actually did was, now I'm actually in the middle of it, it's all coming back to me. I cut a 2-inch wide strip of Night of Navy and I did the end with that punch. So you have options, you know, at the end of the day, it's entirely up to you. And then that will go on the middle with a dimensional or two. How did that happen? Stuff happens. Stuff happens to me. I don't know why. It just does. Okay. I'm still coughing. For those of you who've been watching me recently will know that I have been feeling very sorry for myself and moaning because I've had a touch of flu. And I do feel much better. Thank you very much. But the cough is still with me. Okay, so that will go on to the front of that. I want to make the gift card holder that goes inside the mini treat bag now. So I've got one of our crumb cake notelets, and they come in a pack of 20 with the envelopes. And I've cut a piece of the same design series paper. In fact, it was a bit that was left over from the cutting the treat bag. And this is 2 7/8 of an inch wide by 4 1/4 inch long. And I've cut myself a piece of Night of Navy, which is 3 1/8 by 4 it's just, no it isn't, it's 4 1/2. And I also have a piece of crumb cake, which I cut with one of the other dies that is in the same set as the treat bag. And I actually haven't made much use of this particular die, so I'm going to start off by stamping on it in a Night of Navy, and I've got For You, which is in the same set as the A Little Gift, the perfectly wrapped set, And I'm just lining that up, and I'm just going to push down and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give the ink time to transfer. And you will note that because it's photopolymer, I've got my silicone mat underneath, and I tend to use that underneath pretty much everything because it helps keep my table tidy. So I'm just going to bring in my stamping trimmer. Now I've stamped over to one side because I don't want that part of the card. I don't want it going kind of both ways. I just want part of it. So I've just chopped off that a little bit. And I might keep that for something else. You never know. Or I might just throw it away. Okay. So I'm going to layer up the front of my card now. So lots of snail on the back of the Night of Navy. And pop that on the front. And have you had a chance to look at the new catalogue yet? What do you think of it? Some lovely, lovely things. And I would like to mention that if you do like Stampin' Up and you're not a demonstrator, but you think you'd like to be a demonstrator, now is a very, very good time to join. Because normally when you join Stampin' Up, you pay £99 for your starter kit, and you choose what you want in your starter kit. It's not a set kit, but you choose goods to the value of £130. Well, in the month of June 2016, you can still choose your starter kit for £99, but you also get to choose 2 extra free stamp sets, and they can be any stamp sets, including that gorgeous alphabet, if you've seen that, and get them absolutely free. So if you're thinking about joining Stampin' Up and you're in the UK and you'd like to join my team, I would love to have you. I am recruiting. And you can find out more if you go either to my online shop, or you can go to my blog, which can be found underneath this video. There we go. So that's going to be the front of my gift card. Now inside I want to put a gift card holder. I don't want it just flopping around as it is. So because I'm not going to be using the companion envelope that came with this note card, I have it here, and I'm going to use it to hold the gift card. So the first thing I'm going to do is tape it shut. I know. Okay. Right, so that, I'm now going to cut that corner off. So back in the stamping trimmer. And I'm just trying to think how that is going to go on my card. It's going to go like that. And I'm just going to, and I'm going to go through it twice because I'm going through 2 layers, and there I have a nice little corner that will sit inside my gift card holder. Isn't that neat? Okay, I think I will stick this down with some fuse when the fuse decides to play. Very light touch and flick, and very light touch and flick. And I think that is the thing that surprises people with fuse, because you think you need to press hard, but you don't, you really don't. Okay, and there's my little holder, and we're going to find a gift card. So that is held very nicely inside there, and I've got room to write my message. So all that remains is to put it all together. So that slips inside the gift card holder. Oh, come here, you naughty thing. There you go. And now I'm going to take off the tear and tape, the backing off the tear and tape, which I applied earlier, and now I can come over and I can just push that down, and I know that it's going to hold my gift card without any problems whatsoever. And last of all, we'll put the rosette onto the front of the envelope. See, that's when I made a mess of earlier. I say there are no mistakes in crafting, only changes of design direction or things that you can recycle. And that sits nicely in the front of that. Yes, that's the bit I cut off the band on the inside, so I ain't going to waste it. So a tiny little bit of Tombow along there, and I'm going to pop that inside there. You see, and I wasn't going to do that. That idea just kind of came to me on the fly. So there it is. So here's the finished treat bag with the gift card holder inside, and I'm moving it around a bit so that I can catch that beautiful copper embossing powder in the light. So that would be a nice way of presenting a gift card to somebody, at least I think so. And I do hope very much that you have enjoyed this tutorial, and if so, I would absolutely love it if you would leave me a comment or click the like button below. And that's also where you can find how to get to my blog and to my Facebook page and to my Stampin' Up shop. And certainly if you get in touch with me through my blog or through my Facebook page, if you want to know more about joining Stampin' Up, particularly as we've got a really good offer on in this month of June 2016. So that is it for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that you will join me again soon. Bye bye.